welcome back to the show. It's the one and only liquid jobby, Gayforme, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Moderoid Go Lion model kit from Good Smile Company, or as he's known to us in the West, the defender of the universe, Voltron. No, not IDW Voltron, the real one.
Let's go, Voltron Force!
Ever since I was a kid, I've been a fan of Voltron, the toy. I had a few of the Trendmasters figures growing up, including their reissue of the famous 5 Lion set, but I've never seen the original cartoon, and the only thing I'm about to go lie on is my taxes. But I think growing up with Voltron and other combining robots like Megazords is a big reason why I'm into Transformers today. Without Transformers, I'd probably be some asshole who reviewed Legos or something. Welcome back to the show, it's Shattered Glass Gayforme, and today we're finally checking out the stinkiest LEGO set of the year, the Speed Champions Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Shit's poopin'! This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life, not including my sister. Well anyway, by now some of the piglets out there must be wondering, what is Moderoid? Simply put, Moderoid is Good Smile's line of premium model kits featuring the most iconic names in mecha anime, like Evangelion, Gunsword, Gridman, My Hero Academia, and at least 2 of those were not mecha anime. So of course, as a model kit, Voltron comes disassembled out of the box. Thankfully, the full color instruction sheet made it simple to follow along, as did the distinct color palette of each lion. Once fully assembled, Voltron looks awesome. He's deliciously chunky like any classic 80s mech, with clean and smooth detailing. His proportions are super beefy too. He looks so buff, especially compared to some of his contemporaries. The molded colors are pleasantly bright and saturated, with black and white serving as a unifying element, creating cohesion within this chromatically diverse design. The construction of Voltron is really good too. The figure is entirely made from ABS plastic, which feels softer than the polystyrene used in Bondi kits, but supposedly more durable overall. The figure fits together without any glue, and there aren't many unintentional gaps or seam lines visible from the front. I definitely felt like I was putting together an action figure that's meant to be played with, as opposed to a delicate model kit. The plastic was super easy to work with too, and since Good Smile has a real talent for positioning nubs in discrete areas, building Voltron felt effortless. There were a few unfortunate nub placements, but it was easy enough to clean and cut out the pieces with just a hobby knife and some model nipples. Try not to say that word out loud in public too much, though. As a further testament to the premium quality of this model kit, Voltron's head, face, and belt are all pre-painted parts. They even painted the hilt for the blazing sword, but we'll talk more about that later. Every Moderoid kit that I've built so far has had painted parts, which I really appreciate as a low-effort snap builder myself. This greatly enhances the figure's appearance out of the box, and it makes it feel like a finished toy when completed. One downside to the figure, though, is that by consequence of being endowed with most of Voltron's distinguishing features, the Black Lion receives the lion's share of the model's paintwork too. This means the individual lions can look a little bare and soulless all on their own, especially without their eyes painted in. They do look kinda creepy. You could always paint them yourself, but for those less enterprising like myself, they unfortunately do include a sticker sheet for the eyes, which also has the other details and markings needed to truly complete the lions. Individually, the 5 lions are all really cute, palm-sized little fellas. They're honestly just tiny versions of the old Voltron lions I remember playing with as a May baby. Their level of articulation is not bad, but their legs can feel stiff since they can only move forward and back. Combining the lions is pretty self-explanatory. The blue and yellow lions attach to the hind legs of the black lion, and well enough that they won't simply fall or be shaken off. The green and red lions plug into the black lion's shoulders via these 4mm pegs, which works perfectly fine, but the connection could wear down over time if you rotate the shoulders a lot. They also pop out really easily if you try to move the arms too far forward, which sucks, because that means he can't summon the blazing sword! The shoulders are well articulated otherwise, and there's even an extra pivot so that he can raise his arms a bit higher. The elbows are double jointed too, but the size of the arms keeps them from using their full range of motion. Voltron doesn't have a waist to speak of, rather a mid-torso ball joint that can swivel and pivot slightly, as well as a dedicated ab crunch, which is the only joint on mine that feels loose. These big cutouts around his hips give his legs a lot of room to move around in too, but the connection position for his hips was super tight at first, so be careful when moving his legs to avoid possibly snapping off that peg. Voltron does have double jointed knees, thanks to the leg connectors having room to swivel outside the bodies of the blue and yellow lions, and both lions can pivot mid-torso to give Voltron ankle tilts. So overall, Voltron's articulation is quite extensive, but the bulkiness of his limbs can make dynamic posing more awkward to pull off. I've even found that standing him up straight and making his legs and feet look natural can be a bit challenging too. Thankfully, he does have a stand bussy, in case aerial poses are more your speed. The stand port is actually a part of this small cradle that cups Voltron's grundle when combining. The black lion has an extra joint that connects to his hips, giving him the ability to rest on his hindquarters, and the cradle locks this joint for when the lions are combined. If you forget or you lose it, you can't put Voltron on a stand anymore, but as a result, it also unlocks a certain hidden feature of the figure, the Voltron Thug Shaker. There's two other pieces dedicated specifically to help fully form Voltron. You might have noticed the heads for the blue and yellow lions are kind of oversized, and that's because this kit includes separate heads for those lions when serving as Voltron's legs. There are smaller heads to use when the lions are separated, which have more articulation, like opening jaws to hold their lion weapons. Each lion has its own signature blade that it can wield in its mouth. They are sometimes color-coded, just not in this set. The blades peg securely into the upper jaw of each lion, except for the black lion's weapon, which slots into its lower jaw. Voltron's main weapons attach in the same way as the smaller ones. The impressively sized Blazing Sword features a long silver blade and a blue handle with this painted emblem on the handguard. I didn't know bro worshipped Jesus. This is often paired with the spinning laser blade, which does in fact not spin, but it is really sharp. Ah shit. Voltron also includes two solar combat spears, which can be held individually or combined into a single javelin. So if you're looking for a completely kitted out Voltron figure at a reasonable price, I think the Moderoid Go Lion model kit is a great option. I do wish they could have splurged more on the paint, and having to assemble it yourself might put off some non-hobbyists. But I think it's a fantastic looking figure from a solid line of model kits that I recommend for any mecha fan. Maybe I just like it because it's the first pussy I've gotten in 10 years. And if you want to see another combining robot, you can check out this review next. Yeah, Mr. Bones. That's what the ladies call me too. But anyway, that's just my opinions. Please leave yours in the comments below. Bye-bye.